Hello and welcome to Tea is Good, Books Are Better, the podcast where we drink tea and talk about books. I'm Raven.
I'm Jessica. Did you get that?
Yes. What are we drinking today?
I have red rose tea.
Okay.
I am going to add shepherd's purse to it for my period.
Shepherd's purse?
Yeah, it's a kind of herb that reduces blood flow and a little bit in cramps.
Oh.
It seems to have worked the last time I used it.
Huh.
So I'm going to use it again.
Yeah, send me what that is.
I shall.
Thank you. Speaking of pain,
Yes.
I was like cleaning the rat's cage on the weekend on Sunday. And I was like bending over to pick up some stuff, and I felt that same pain start to like flow through my lower back. Basically the same pain that fucked me up a few years ago.
Oh, yeah.
But this time I like straightened up right away and thankfully prevented it from getting really bad. But I still started to like ache and ache and ache, and it started to hurt to like twist or sit up or basically move at all.
God.
So I laid down for a while and I was getting like really worried that it was going to be as bad as last time. Although like the initiating incident was definitely not as bad. Like the first time it happened to me, I bent over to pick up a hairbrush that I had dropped on the floor. And I felt this pain like explode in my lower back, and I felt it shoot down my left leg also.
Ew.
Like the back of my left leg. And I later found out there is a nerve that goes from your spine, like the lower back of your spine area, and then down both of your legs. So whatever it was that I hurt that one time was that nerve, I guess?
Yeah.
It's the sciatic nerve. Yeah, so it travels from the lower back through the hips and buttocks and down each leg. But this time, like, I didn't feel it shoot down my leg, so it wasn't as bad.
You saved yourself before it got too bad.
Yeah, I can recognize the pain pretty quickly now. But anyway, I was getting pretty worried that it was gonna like be really bad and I was gonna be off work again for a long time, because it was like,
oh my God,
it was slowly getting worse. I could like barely sit up. And then I remembered that Jake has a TENS machine. Do you know what that is?
No.
So a TENS machine, TENS stands for transcutaneous electrical nerve stimulation.
Sounds fancy.
I don't remember why he has it. I think it was like a gift from his parents when he was also having some sort of pain. But anyway, it's like these little nodes that you stick onto yourself that send little electrical currents into your muscles.
Yeah.
And this is basically exactly what they were doing to me when I was in physio after my car accident.
Dang.
Yeah, they stuck these like nodes onto my back and basically just electrocuted me for 40 minutes.
Dang.
So I remember Jake has this machine, so he went and grabbed it for me and stuck it to my lower back, and so I electrocuted myself for like an hour and a half. And when I took it off, I felt fine.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
I am so grateful he has that machine. Holy shit.
was meant to happen.
Yeah. But that also reminded me that the last time I fucked up my back, which was when I fucked it up for like 2 weeks or something and had to take a week off work.
Yikes.
My doctor had told me that I needed to go to physio or start doing like regular stretching and yoga, because she said it's not a matter of if it's going to come back, it's a matter of when.
Oh no.
So I was like, I just remembered this. And I was like, oh fuck.
I should have been doing yoga.
Yeah, I gotta keep up with my stretching.
Yoga's tough though.
How fucking scary is that though, bro? Fuck.
That is terrifying because back pain is crippling.
Yeah.
Or like nerve damage. That is fucked up.
It's not fair.
It's like the smallest car accident can change your life.
Yeah, no kidding. Anyway, I'm drinking kombucha.
Oh, tea!
Wow!
Good job.
Thank
Finally.
you. Thanks. It is actually, like, I'm looking at the ingredients right now. Not that I'd never believed you when you said it was tea, but there is actually black tea and green tea in this drink.
Yeah. And with bacteria.
Yeah, bacterial culture and yeast. Can I ask you a question that's, like, kind of personal, but is also general?
Yeah, sure.
You don't have to get personal if you don't want to. But apparently yeast infections for people with vaginas are pretty common. But I don't know if I've ever experienced one, and I wonder if that's normal. I don't know. Like, I wouldn't know how to recognize it.
Either. I feel so bad for people who get it on the regular.
Okay. So.
I hear any pH imbalance can do the job downstairs. That's all I hear. Maybe some people have it more than others just due to, what do you call it, when it like runs in your family?
Genetics?
Yeah, maybe just through genetics. Like some people are more susceptible to it than others. But right. I think any pH imbalance, I think, can cause a yeast infection or the bacterial infection. But I think the smell is what will tell you. Oh, sure.
Okay.
And your discharge looks like cottage cheese.
Oh, no.
If you have a yeast infection.
Oh, no.
The bacteria infection, though, you have to rely on the smell to tell you for sure.
A bacterial infection?
But I forget what it's called, but...
A UTI?
I think it should be obvious. No, the one that's in your vagina.
Wait, there's yeast infections and bacterial infections?
Yeah, you can get a bacterial infection up there.
Oh, I didn't know they were different.
With the pH. Yeah, because the yeast is fungus.
Oh, God.
Yeah, that sounds hideous.
That sounds awful. Oh, my God.
It does. I'm, like, terrified of getting either of those.
Okay, so I'm reading... What is the main cause of a yeast infection? This is from yalemedicine.org. They range from changes in the physical environment, like sitting for too long in a wet bathing suit, to changes in life circumstances, like severe stress or lack of sleep.
Nah, ain't that simple.
It looks like they're also more common during pregnancy.
Oh, no.
Let's see. What the fuck? Okay. Factors that can lead to a yeast infection. Antibiotics, because they
too much of those, yeah.
They decrease the levels of healthy bacteria in the body. Uncontrolled diabetes, potential irritants such as douching washes, spermicide, soaps, powders, or deodorants. Oh, okay.
I heard too much semen can also change the pH balance, because semen has a low or a high pH. Which one is more acidic, low or high? I think low.
Oh, I was gonna say high.
Did you take chemistry?
No, I didn't.
Oh no. So I think basically semen is very basic and the vagina is very acidic, and so they clash, and it can change if there's too much.
Okay.
Too much semen can cause a change.
Tight-fitting clothing.
If it's moderate, then I think it's fine. So too much sweat.
Yeah.
No fresh air down there.
And synthetic materials such as bathing suits and sportswear. A weakened immune system. I feel like that's kind of what you were getting at with the genetic thing.
Yeah.
Pregnancy, hormonal imbalance near the time of the menstrual cycle. Huh.
So it's like rolling dice. It sounds like.
Fuck, man. Being a woman is ass. And being anyone with a vagina is ass.
To like, really look after yourself just to stay healthy.
Yeah. God damn. How did they manage before, like, modern medicine? You know what I mean?
Right? I have no idea.
Anyway, hopefully that conversation was interesting.
Yeah. Veering off topic.
Yeah. Why are we here? We're here to discuss A Feast for Crows. Because...
Yes, we finished that.
Yep. We sure did.
The last chapter was the last episode.
The writer's Afterword now is what we're reading.
Is
that what you call it? I don't know, because it's a foreword when it's at the front of the book, right?
Oh, probably isn't Afterword.
That's my guess.
Where is it?
All right.
It's before the appendix, right? Yeah, it is.
Tell us what's
Meanwhile,
the afterword.
Back on the wall, ... So I forgot about it. So you want me to summarize it or read it? Because it's like a page.
It is actually so short. So.
Hey, wait a minute. Some of you might be saying right now, wait a minute. But wait, where's Dany and the dragons? Where's Tyrion? We hardly saw Jon Snow. This can't be all of it.
I like your retelling here.
There is more to come. Another book as big as this one. I did not forget to write about the other characters. Oh no. Far from it. I wrote lots about them. Pages and pages and pages. Chapters and more chapters. I was still writing when it dawned on me that the book had become too big to publish in a single volume. And I wasn't close to finished yet. To tell all of the story that I wanted to tell, I was going to have to cut the book in two. The simplest way to do that, would have been to take what I had, chop it in half around the middle, and end with "to be continued." The more I thought about that, however, the more I felt that the readers would be better served by a book that told all the story for half of the characters, rather than half the story for all of the characters. So that's the route I chose to take. Tyrion, Jon, Dany, Stannis, and Melisandre, Davos, Seaworth, and all the rest of the characters you love, or love to hate, will be along next year, I devoutly hope, in the Dance with Dragons, which will focus on events along the wall, across the sea, just as the present book focused on King's Landing. George R. R. Martin, June 2005. I was 14.
Holy fuck. Is that when this was published?
Is it?
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
Dang.
Okay, so now we know. He basically wrote so much that he was like, this is too much for one book.
Got too excited.
I will agree
all the descriptor.
That I think we'll get to that. I will agree that I think he was right that focusing on half the characters was probably the right call based on how much he had written versus cramming in all of the characters and only telling half of their stories. However, as you said, I feel like there was a lot of fat in this book. And here's kind of where we're getting into our overall thoughts on A Feast for Crows now that we've read the whole thing. I'm basically just going to be repeating a bunch of stuff that I've already said throughout reading this series. So maybe I'll let you go first. Is there anything you want to say about your overall thoughts?
Overall, I think I enjoyed the book. I got what I wanted from the characters that I enjoy. Though there was a lot of filling in there. It didn't need to be in there. Yeah.
Right. I agree. I think this book, A Feast for Crows, was the weakest so far of the Song of Ice and Fire series. Which saddens me to say that. But it is my humble opinion. A lot of people love this book, though, which...
Maybe they like the characters, and they're able to ignore all of the descriptors. I can't see anyone really liking this.
Yeah.
But I'm still hung up about the descriptions of Brienne's footprints in the mud. Like I really did not need to know.
It's literally just like a paragraph describing how her feet were like squelching in the mud. And it's like, Are you fucking serious right now? We need like maybe half of a sentence to tell us that her boots were squelching in the mud. That's all you need.
Exactly.
And maybe I'm exaggerating a little bit by saying it was a paragraph, but it was too much.
I feel like it was that long. I was thinking 2.
It was more than like 2 sentences, which is too much.
Like, I get it that the characters' storylines were pretty good, and the development of some of the characters, like say Jamie, was kind of awesome to watch or read. So I understand that part. That like the story overall was pretty good.
Yeah, I'll agree with you there. It's a valid reason to like it. That it did actually tell that they're complete stories, and they did come to like satisfying conclusions in the end. But I do feel like it was a lot of wasted text. Like just the fact that it took Sam so long to get to Old Town, and there's just so much traveling, especially near the front half of the book, and everyone was just traveling.
It's like the worst.
Brienne was going from A to B, Sam was going from A to B, Jamie was going from A to B. Like, the only person who was not traveling was Cersei.
Bro. Like, I'm sure Elaine was even traveling a little. Where's that? Get the books mixed up. Was she
Elaine,
traveling, or was she already?
As in Sansa?
Yeah.
She did some traveling near the end when they were descending the Erie, but I don't really think that was too criminal, if you ask me.
No, it wasn't that bad, no.
But like Arianne even, I think, was doing some traveling.
Yeah.
But she only had like a few short chapters, so again, I don't really blame those ones too much. But I remember Brienne's chapters were like over and over and over. Every chapter she had, it was just like traveling. Which I get it. She's literally traveling. But it was a lot. And I feel like if it gets to the point where you're describing traveling over and over and over again, you just gotta cut to the next area. Because it's no longer providing anything interesting or of value to the story.
Sure. Oh yeah. Those Brienne chapters.
Those were rough at the start.
Yeah.
I ended up being glad I didn't get her.
Yeah.
But again, I've said this before, but I feel like the first 3 books, George had the entire arc, and again, this is entirely speculation, but I feel like he had the whole arc of the first 3 books formed in his mind before he even started writing.
That'd make a lot of sense.
Yeah, I feel like he had the basic flow and basic direction of the whole Rob arc, let's call it, because it sort of ends with Rob.
Yeah.
Okay. And I feel like that's what made it so strong, because he knew where he was going. And his mission was basically just to get there. And it feels like in this one that he's floundering a little more. He's letting the characters run free, which can sometimes be valuable. But at the same time, it feels like he hasn't reined them in very much.
Yeah. Rambling.
Yeah. So perhaps if he had trimmed all the fat from these characters, trimmed the fat from the characters that weren't in this book, he could have put them all into one book. I don't know, but perhaps if he had trimmed all the fat.
Probably. I thought it was exciting when the story, when I enjoyed it a lot. Like I remember a lot of.
Sorry, you cut out for a minute.
Got her name. I remembered a lot of. Oh my god, got her name.
Who?
Who's the Wraith? Catelyn's Wraith.
Oh, Lady Stoneheart.
Stoneheart. I was like really excited whenever I heard mentions of her or Nymeria. I really enjoyed watching Cersei get her due. Or Jaime lose his love for her. I love that shit. Arya's chapters, meh. They weren't as exciting for me.
Honestly, I'm like, wait, Arya was in this book? That's how, like, little her chapters impacted me. What did she do? She went to the house of the faceless men and, like, wandered around and sold some oysters, clams, and cockles?
Right? She's not really doing anything other than observing people.
Yeah.
And cleaning up the temple a little bit, or cleaning up dead people.
Yeah. And look, I have a lot of respect for George R.R. Martin for what he has accomplished with his world building and his characters and his storytelling. And I am not a better writer than George R.R. Martin, and in no way am I trying to claim that I am. But all the stuff I said already.
Exactly.
I just wanted to make that point clear. I guess my point in saying that is that as a writer, I do sort of figure out like certain arcs for stories, and then that makes it so much easier to write. As soon as I have like an arc figured out, as soon as I know where something is going. So that's what the first 3 books felt like to me. And again, in this one, it feels like maybe he didn't quite figure out where it was going until he was like partway through.
Yeah.
And I will say,
that's when the book became so big.
Right. And I will say that the arcs did complete in this book, I feel like. At least for characters like Cersei and Jaime. I feel like they probably had the most important arcs.
I think they're the best.
Yeah. Like, I don't even know if I could name the others.
Well, I guess Brienne and Arianne are the only other 2 that I can think of that I enjoyed.
Right. I feel like Asha's stuff, that was interesting to get a glimpse.
Yeah. I think, did we get an Asha chapter?
Yeah.
Was it Asha?
We got...
Oh, yeah, there it is.
We got at least one
far
Asha.
Away.
And then we had,
Victarion.
like, Victarion, and then... Was there something else over there, too?
Thinking that Aeron, the drowned man.
Oh, right.
Okay, so we're 3 of them. But they were near the beginning, I think, because I do not recall too much.
Yeah. But also at the same time, it could have been super interesting to, like, not know what was going on over there and kind of observe from someone like Sam's perspective, like, wait, why are the Ironborn freaking out? Why are they all over the place? Why are they attacking Old Town?
Yeah.
Stuff like that. I don't know if that would have been better, just thinking out loud.
That would have been interesting to theorize over, and then to have them in Dance of Dragons, where we would actually see what was going on.
Right.
I noticed when I was Googling around for essays that I see a lot of word that Lord Beric died in this book, or that we find out he's dead, and I don't remember reading that.
It was pretty recently.
Like, he died to bring back Catelyn?
Yeah.
Oh, I did not understand that when I read that.
We talked about this. What? Yeah. But basically in Brienne's last chapter, I think, we learned that, she's, like, asking the Red Priest guy if, like, Dondarrion is there, something like that. And he's like, no, he's gone. And I don't remember how he said it exactly. He didn't say, like, Dondarrion is dead, I don't think. Maybe he did.
Yeah.
I feel like maybe that would have stood out.
I don't think he said that, because I would have understood that, but I thought when he said gone, like, I don't think I understood what he meant by gone.
Right.
Okay, so, no wonder.
I don't know if that was the exact word he used, but
yeah,
it was something like that. He was like, he's gone now, like, he
got what he wanted.
Catelyn's body by the lake and explained something. But yeah, you've been seeing that around and you didn't know what it was talking about.
Maybe I did understand at the time, but I forgot.
I think I asked if that meant that Dondarrion was dead, and I feel like I remember you saying that you weren't sure if he was dead or if he was just like a shell now.
Yeah. Okay.
Not sure if you remember.
Okay, that's probably my initial theory, was that he was a shell.
Yeah.
Okay. So I guess he got what he wanted. Dead?
He got what he wanted? What do you mean?
I feel like he wasn't happy being brought back over and over. But I guess that means his purpose was to bring back Lady Stoneheart. Because he had a purpose. That's why he was being brought back. I'm just realizing this all now.
Well, what? Why would that be his purpose?
Because the only reason he was brought back by the Lord of Light was because he had a purpose, right? Like, there was a reason why they can't bring him back. And to bring back Lady Catelyn, I'm guessing that the Red Priest couldn't bring him back after that. Like, he had served his purpose.
That makes sense. Okay. Because I was like, maybe he did bring her back thinking that was his purpose, but maybe it wasn't actually his purpose. But if it wasn't his purpose, then the Red Priest would have been able to bring him back.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm guessing that the Lord of Light needed Lady Catelyn as a player? Or Lady Stoneheart.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe to something with the Freys, because that's basically her mission, is just to destroy all Freys.
Lannisters, too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Interesting.
That's also different from the show.
Well, there was no Lady Stoneheart at all on the show.
Yeah, they made his purpose to help Jon north of the wall, their little squad.
Right.
Okay.
Some interesting choices they made for the show.
So I took a look at a website that had a good essay.
Okay.
What is it called? Bookanalysis.com.
Oh.
So the themes of this book: power, revenge, politics, duty and honor, and religion. And I can get into them.
Let's do it.
So the theme of power. So, like, Many of the characters are struggling to gain more power, like and the iron from the Iron Islands, Bravos, and it's like usually a lesser power that's driving the story, leading to new events. Like in the Iron Islands, the death of Balon sparks the power struggle between Euron, Victorian, and Asha. In King's Landing, Tywin's death leads to Cersei becoming more power-hungry and unstable.
Oh yeah.
Leading to self-sabotage. In Bravos, Arya chooses to become a servant at the House of Black and White to learn the power of the Faceless Men.
Right.
The theme of revenge. Cersei vows revenge against Tyrion for the death of their father. And as a result, many dwarves are murdered in her quest. Arya's main driving factor is her list of names. People she's vowed revenge against. And there is the scene where she meets, I think it's Darion of the Night's Watch.
Right.
And kills him.
Just because
showing
that he didn't even do anything. I mean, he abandoned his.
I think, yeah, like he wanted to leave or abandon his post.
Yeah.
And she's like, well, fuck you, I'll kill you.
I kill you.
I think she's just like lust for murder. I feel like
it's almost like she's looking for any reason to kill someone.
Yeah. Like, why are you offended by this dumb fuck? He just wants to sleep around all day.
I feel like I understood
get fat
at the time when I read it, but
probably
looking back now, yeah, it's hard to.
It's a little bit nuts.
It is a little. It's a little overboard.
Yeah, and she showed her faceless mentors that she's not letting go of her past self by doing this. The Sand Snakes and what's her face?
Ariane.
The princess. Yeah. Vow revenge for Oberyn. And then Doran confesses to his daughter at the end that he wants vengeance for his brother and sister's death at the hands of the Lannisters. Right. Then Lady Stoneheart is basically revenge incarnate.
Hell yeah, she is the epitome of revenge. She is revenge in human form.
For sure.
Or zombie form.
Yeah. The theme of politics. In King's Landing, Cersei tries to use politics to have Marjorie killed, but her lack of awareness and her lack of intelligence has her scheme biting her in the ass when she grants power to the Faith Militant, who then arrest her. She's a massive hypocrite. She doesn't realize other people see that. She doesn't even realize she's a hypocrite.
Oh no, she still thinks she's right.
Yeah, she's perfect.
Yep.
In every way.
Every possible.
In the Iron Islands, Euron uses politics to successfully sway the crowd in his favor, with boasts and promises to seduce and use the Dragon Queen to conquer Westeros. At the Vale, Elaine is learning how to play political games under Littlefinger's guidance, which I think is rad, even though Littlefinger's slimy as fuck. He's awesome at what he does, and Elaine learning, or Sansa learning under him, I think it's pretty sick.
Should lead to some interesting stuff, that's for sure.
Yeah.
I remembered how she, I guess this is a spoiler, so skip ahead by 30 seconds if you don't want any spoilers for the show. I remember how she ends up kind of tricking Peter back in the show.
Yeah.
And then that was such a boss move. Like,
oh yeah.
Do you remember when she and like Arya were pretending to like hate each other,
playing together?
Yeah.
Tricking him.
That was dope.
I love that. For a bit they were like, oh, it's worried. It's like, oh no, they get turned against each other, but they played him real good.
Yeah, that was awesome.
In the Riverlands, Jaime uses political leveraging to gain control of Riverrun. And we watch as Jaime's ideologies on life change, and he starts a path of redemption. Instead of using violence, He can use his big boy words.
And he's actually... yeah, he's been forced to do that, and it's kind of been working for him.
Yeah, he's good at it. Or he's getting there.
He actually, like, he used his brain meats, and he got Edmure to, like, give up the Riverrun Castle. Which was a great move. I thought it was really clever the way he did that. But, like, it didn't go perfectly because the blackfish got away. But still, I thought it was clever.
Yeah, they got the castle. And that's what his job was. He succeeded.
Indeed. By threatening to catapult
and Dorn. Oh, right. Insanity. In Dorn, Ariane uses politics to try to set Westeros into chaos by making Marcella the queen until her plans are thwarted by her father. Themes of duty and honor. So Jaime is a man who is becoming... I sure did. Jaime is a man who's becoming honorable. He tries to make amends for the horrible things he's done. He gets sent to the Riverlands to restore peace and begins changing for the better. Jaime becomes more strategic and honorable in his dealings and starts keeping to his word. Brienne upholds her promise to Catelyn to keep searching for the Stark girls, and she still maintains her honor even when faced with death.
Do you think, just real quick, that Jaime feels like he needs to hold his word to Catelyn Stark more because she's dead? I'm not sure why I'm getting that feeling, but
he might be. So, like, also he was deeply inspired by Brienne.
That's true.
In some sense.
Brienne was a huge part of it, for sure. There's no denying that. But I think I also wonder... I think in my mind I'm comparing it to, like, when you insult someone to their face versus insulting them behind their back. So...
It might be.
Like, insulting them to their face is sort of more acceptable, I think.
Yeah. I think there's a chance he also might feel a little bit guilty for the erasure of this entire family, and knowing that there's at least 2 of them still left, the 2 girls who are definitely innocent. Maybe he feels some, like, obligation to at least get them safe. Like, the whole house doesn't have to go.
That makes sense. That he would feel, like, a little more responsible.
Because it was his father who did that. Religion. And King's Landing. Cersei's incompetence makes her restore the faith militant, which then leads to her downfall as she gets arrested for her fornication.
You can't trust religion, man.
And then in Bravos, Arya learns about the many-faced god, and the temple becomes a messenger of said god. That's also religion that I forget about.
Did we discuss whether the many-faced god is just the stranger?
Yeah, I wonder if it's basically the 7, but stranger forefront, maybe. Maybe they believe that the 7 are basically the stranger. But I definitely do think it's the stranger.
Okay, because they do kind of feel like they kind of coincide, or they kind of mirror each other.
And I remember depictions of the stranger, his face being covered.
Yeah. Or just like a blank face or something.
Yeah. Faceless!
Ha! Ha!
Got him. Yeah, those are the themes. I have key moments, and there's 30 of them.
Oh my god. Yeah, let's do like a rapid fire, and like we'll spit out our thoughts. Wait, let me try and guess something.
Whoa!
Let me try and guess something.
Let me.
Let me. Okay. So who's your first one about?
Pate.
Pate? Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, well, his first moment when he gets killed by the Faceless Man.
Yes.
Okay. Definitely an important moment because it comes back in the end.
Yeah. Which was pretty exciting. I like that.
Yeah.
Full circle.
I knew he had to bring it back at some point.
Yeah, the rest was so random.
Because we are not in Old Town at all for the rest of the book until the end.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, what's the next one about?
Aaron, Greyjoy. The drowned man.
Was his name Aaron?
Aaron.
How is that spelled?
Aeron.
Aeron. Oh. Okay. I honestly don't remember much about him. I think that I just remember him bailing when he learns about Euron getting the throne or something.
Taken off.
Yeah.
This is before then, though.
Yeah. Okay, go ahead. What is it?
So this one, he gets word of Balon's death, and he meets with Gorold Goodbrother and decides to support his brother Victorian over Euron.
Okay.
Number 3.
Who's it about?
The Sand Snakes meet Prince Doran Martell and ask for revenge for their father's death.
Mm-hmm.
In King's Landing, Cersei learns of her father's death and her brother's escape. She asks Jaime to take over as Hand the King, but he refuses. Don't want that shit.
Is that when he gets back there, or is that when he's still away?
It must be when he gets back.
Wait, she asked Jaime to be Hand of the King?
Yeah.
Oh. Thought she asked
Because I think
Kevin.
I think she asked Kevin after Jaime. Jaime is her number 1 most trusted person.
Right. That makes sense.
Number 5. On the way to Duskendale, Brienne meets 2 hedge knights who accuse her of Renly's death. She denies, and later meets a man named Shag. Is it Shag? No, Shadrick? Someone who tells her he's also looking for Salsa.
Salsa.
Yeah.
Okay.
Castle Black. Sam tries to gather more info on the others. Jon sends him to the Citadel with Gilly and Maester Aemon and the wildling baby. Not Gilly's baby. The other one.
They don't know that yet, right?
No. But I do.
Yeah.
Arya reaches Bravos. She goes to a temple where she meets a man who tries to dissuade her from staying, but she sees through his illusion and decides to stay.
I remember she goes to eat the worm in his eye, which was pretty fucking hard, dude.
That was hardcore. And like, what? She's like 10.
A little badass.
And this is a child.
She's like, I don't care if you got a fucking gross eye. I will eat that shit.
You don't scare me. At Tywin's funeral, Cersei shuts down Mace Tyrell, who suggests the next Hand the King. Her uncle Kevin scolds her for her actions, and she tags him as a traitor.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Cersei sucks, bro.
She's so psychotic.
I mean, she rules, but she sucks.
Fine.
Like, as a character, I love her, but she sucks.
Jaime stands for the vigil of his father's funeral. He later advises Cersei to talk to Mace Tyrell and agree to wed Tommen to Marjorie.
Right. That was... Wait. Was that Jaime's idea, or was that already suggested? And Jaime was like, yeah,
I feel like that was suggested, and he agreed.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. At 10, Brienne reaches Duskendale, where she meets Podrick Payne. She later meets a dwarf who tells her that he heard of a man who tried to take some people across the Narrow Sea, implying that it was Sansa.
Right. I also forgot that she met Podrick in this book. I thought it was earlier.
Me too. That was the last book.
Wow. It feels like they've been together forever.
Right? They belong together forever. 11. At the Vale, Sansa narrates to Lord Nestor Royce, the fabricated story of events that led to Lysa's death.
Okay, which was a huge lie, right?
Yeah, they're like claiming that the bard did it.
Right.
At the 10 Towers, Asha Greyjoy waits for her supporters to arrive. Her uncles try to dissuade her from claiming the throne, but it falls on deaf ears.
Good for her for trying.
Yeah. Hard ass. 13, Tommen weds Marjorie. With Marjorie being the new queen, Cersei gets increasingly jealous and obsessed with her, what do you call it? The witch's prophecy, yeah.
Oh yeah, that was pretty prominent in this book.
Like the more beautiful younger queen. She's like, that's definitely Marjorie. Gotta kill her.
Right. Little does she know.
14. In Dorne, Aerys meets his lover Arianne, the daughter of Prince Doran. She convinces him to follow her plan of making Marcella queen.
Right. I wonder 15. If this will... the whole Arianne plot, if it's going to end up going anywhere.
Yeah.
Because right now, I feel like the only important thing we got from that whole situation was learning that Doran is actually looking for revenge.
Yeah, like he's actually, like he's not, just letting them walk all over him. Yeah.
I feel like out of all our chapters, like that was the most important thing that we learned.
Yeah, that's true.
And like Eris Oakheart dies, which I guess puts them in sort of a troubling situation.
Yeah.
We went through a lot to get to that one tiny tidbit of info.
True, it is. Exacto. 15. Brienne takes Podrick into her service, and they travel to Maidenpool. She meets Randall Tarley and learns that Sansa is likely not at the Vale. She then... Whoa, that was... not at the Vale. You missed out.
That's what
she meets
learned?
Nibbledick. Apparently, Randall convinced her she's not at the Vale.
Oh my god.
She then meets Nibbledick, who decides to take her to meet the people he tried smuggling.
Right.
16. As they head to the Citadel, Sam notices that Gilly is sad and realizes that Jon swapped her son for Mance Raider's son. Which
is probably the craziest.
That was the worst, most psychotic thing I ever heard.
The most ethically, morally gray thing I think that Jon Snow has ever done.
It's absolutely disgusting. I want to vomit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was not okay with that.
Yeah.
17. Cersei reorganizes a small council and places people of her choosing. She learns that Jon is the new commander of the Night's Watch and begins plotting against him and Marjorie. I forgot she was plotting against Jon too.
Oh yeah.
Like what's Jon gonna do? Declare war against the Lannisters with his army of the Night Watch? Barely 100.
She is just always putting so much focus in the wrong areas.
Yeah, everyone must be obsessed with her as much as she's obsessed with her. 18. The King's Moot assembles in the Iron Islands, and Euron is crowned king.
They were like showing off their treasure chest full of shit, right?
Yeah.
And like, I remember Asha's was just like a bunch of dried plants or something, like pine cones and stones and shit like that. And it was supposed to be some sort of metaphor. But then did Euron have actual like gold? I don't remember what Euron had.
I actually don't recall. I think he might have had an insane amount. And then promising the Dragon Queen on top of that. And all of Westeros. Not just the Iron Islands. All of Westeros.
I wonder what is wrong with this guy? Like, if he knows that Daenerys has 3 dragons. How does he think he's going to take her?
He thinks he's going to seduce her because he's so charming. And I think he's also a bit of a sorcerer as well. He has the magics because he learned at an Aishai.
Oh yeah, I forgot that part.
Which is where Melisandre learned a lot of her magic too.
Yeah. But like it's not really their way, the way of the Ironborn to like seduce women, is it? Like they just take them.
They take. But I feel like Euron is a little bit different from the other Ironborn.
Okay.
Like, and like his travels is considered a bit weird to them.
Right.
And some of them think of him as cursed because apparently his eye underneath the patch is evil. Like there's something wrong with him, and they don't like that he learned magics. That's wrong for them.
Mm-hmm.
And I also feel like he has like somewhat of a respect for Dany as being a dragon queen, and I've taken like this 3 slave cities.
Right.
That he knows that he can't just go in there and snatch her. He's got to play another game of seduction.
Guess we'll see how that works out.
I'm very interested. I want to see this. Number 20. In Dorne, Arianne's plans fail, and Ares gets killed. Marcella gets wounded in the face. And meanwhile, in the face. That poor girl. And in the Vale, Sansa changes her identity to Elaine Stone.
Dude, I forgot about Marcella's face.
Mm-hmm.
And their like healer, maester, or whatever they have in Dorne was basically like, yeah, we can't fix her face.
She's gonna be ugly.
Poor thing.
Jeez.
I wonder when Cersei will learn about that.
Oh no, she's gonna go psycho.
Yeah.
But right now she has bigger fish to fry.
She's a little preoccupied.
That's a joke. 21. Cersei's paranoia increases as her governance degrades. She tries to prevent her son from seeing Marjorie. And meanwhile, Sam arrives in Bravos, and one of his brothers, Tyrion, abandons his
what?
vows.
Yes. Yes, he does. And he's
22.
gonna get fucking killed for it.
Savagely.
Mm-hmm.
Jaime gets sent to the Riverlands by Cersei. She travels to Baelor Sept and grants the new High Septon power to arm the Faith. The Faith militant.
She's so stupid.
Big boo-boo. That was a mistake, bro.
Yep.
Her worst decision in this book.
Is there anything scarier than organized religion?
Honestly, I can't think of billionaires.
Billionaires?
Yeah, and their dream world, which is enslaving all of us.
Yeah, we will be their little sheep.
Working away non-stop for pennies.
Just here to make you more money.
23. Jaime travels to Castle Derry, where he meets his cousin Lancel.
Oh yeah.
I just realized that sounds like Lancelot, who admits to killing Robert and sleeping with Cersei.
Oh my god.
And that's King Robert for you.
I forgot about that.
Cersei later learns that Euron is amassing a fleet and sends Loras to free some of the fleets at Dragonstone. She gets an emissary from the Iron Bank requesting payment for Westeros' debts, which she does not take very seriously.
Yeah.
So that's a lot that happened there.
She's being kept busy.
I think this is where Jaime starts to hate Cersei.
Oh.
Learning that she's been cheating on him.
Oh yeah.
24. Arya continues working as a servant in the House of Black and White. The kindly man and a waif teach her the religion of the many-faced god. The man tells her to work for a man named Briscoe, and while working, she meets Darion, who she kills. When the man learns of what Arya did, he orders the waif to give her warm milk, which blinds her.
Oh, right. Blinded.
25. Maester Aemon dies. After leading the prayer for him, Sam sleeps with Gilly.
Ooh. Oh, shit.
26.
Wow.
Cersei learns that Loras has successfully taken over Dragonstone and gets happy when she hears that he's almost on the brink of death. Her hatred for the young queen grows when she has a dream about how she is visited by a witch who predicted that she will be dethroned by a younger queen.
Do you remember what happened to Loras?
Deep fried?
Oh, God! Basically the worst possible fate that you could imagine.
One of the worst injuries ever.
For anyone who doesn't understand what we're saying, he had the hot oil poured on him.
Boiling oil.
Yeah.
And there's not much you can do about that. Hot water, boiling water. I think there's a little bit you can do with boiling oil. What? What? What do you even do to stop that?
I don't know.
You just wait for him to finish cooking.
Oh, God. I guess you just dunk him.
Were.
I mean, I don't fucking know. Maybe you just kill him, end his suffering.
I mean, that would probably be so, very humane.
Yeah.
I cannot imagine being, having boiling oil just dumped all over you. That's fucked. Even
getting the little, bacon splash on you from the stove, hurts like a bitch. That's just the
when I was at Triple O's once, right? When I worked at Triple O's and I threw some French fries in the deep fryer, a little bit too rough. I had one single drop fly up and hit me in the face, and it burnt through a couple of layers of my skin.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I hate that.
Boiling oil is no joke. No joke.
Yeah. Don't try that at home, kids.
Be careful, please.
Yeah.
27. Brienne reaches the Inn of the Crossroads and a fight breaks out with some men. She gets injured and taken to see Thoros, who introduces her to Lady Stoneheart. Brienne is surprised to see that it's Catelyn. Lady Stoneheart orders her to kill Jaime, and she refuses. So Lady Stoneheart then orders Thoros to hang Brienne.
Which he does.
Yeah. The chapter ends with Brienne yelling something. That's it.
As she's being strung up. Yeah.
Yeah. It implies that maybe they stop, but do they?
We don't know. Also, poor Pod, too.
That poor boy.
Isn't he supposed to be 10 or 11?
That's the baby. I don't know. I think so. I think that sounds right. Maybe 12 at the absolute oldest. But that's a baby. Yeah. That's a child.
Teeny weeny baby.
28. Jaime takes over Riverrun. In King's Landing, Cersei has Marjorie arrested on charges of fornication, and she travels to the Sept to meet the young queen, but gets arrested for fornication herself, as the man she sent to frame Marjorie confessed to sleeping with Cersei and killing the High Septon at her orders. Wow. Knowing she needs a fighter, she sends a letter to Jaime, who then fucking burns it. Yay!
So good.
29. Arianne learns that her father is plotting against the Lannisters for his brother and sister's death.
Hell yeah.
Then 30. Sam reaches the Citadel where he meets Marwyn, who he talks to about Daenerys as he's gotten news of her dragons. And he also learns about Dragonglass.
Right.
Those are the main points of the book.
Okay.
All right. Yaha!
Well, that is it for A Feast for Crows.
And that took so long to read.
It actually did. Let's see when we started.
Was it like a year?
At least a year, if not more. Let's see. I will scroll back to the start of Feast for Crows. April 2022.
Whoa. Good year and a half.
Yeah. Damn.
Holy shit. It's not even the biggest book.
Nope. But we did take lots of breaks.
Yeah, we did. A lot happened.
Yep. It's been a crazy year and a half. If you want more of the podcast, please follow us on Instagram. You can follow the podcast at TIGBAB Podcast or follow us individually. My handle is Crimby and Jess's is just.egan24. You can also find us on Facebook. Just search TIGBAB Podcast or Tea is Good, Books Are Better, and we will show up there. Also, please subscribe to our good friend Bahrami on YouTube. He's the one who made our jingle, which you heard at the start of the episode, and he makes some really cool music. That's Bahram. You can also find him on Spotify as Bahrambient. That's Bahrambient. And please check us out on Patreon, patreon.com/teaisgoodbooksarebetter. We have a few different tea-themed tiers with fun rewards, including outtakes, BTS stuff, and mini-episodes in which we force our brother to watch Game of Thrones, which he absolutely hates. So it makes for some fun discussions/arguments. Finally, if you would be willing to share the podcast with your family and your friends, it would be a huge help to us to grow the podcast. Thank you so much. And in our next episode, we will be starting... That's disgusting. We will be starting our brand new book. Will we be continuing A Song of Ice and Fire, or will we be trying something different before we head on to A Dance with Dragons?
We don't know.
We don't know. But we'll let you know next week. All right. Also, real quick, shout out to our patrons. We have Tobias, Eric, Bahram, and Jake. Thank you so much for being patrons. I also wanted to add real quick that on our Patreon, if you have taken a look there in the past week, you may have noticed that our 2 lower level tiers are gone. So that was the white tier and the green tier. And the only tier remaining right now is the Oolong tier, which is the $5 tier that includes all of the mini episodes. We just felt like that was the tier that was providing the most value, and we're pretty consistent with our mini episodes uploads on there, whereas the rewards for the white and the green tier were pretty inconsistent. So I just felt like it was more fair to offer just the one that we're the most consistent on.
Sure.
So yeah, that is for you listeners. If you're interested in checking out our Patreon, it's patreon.com/teaisgoodbooksarebetter. Check out our Oolong tier. You get access to all of our mini episodes, bonus content. You'll love our our mini episodes because we force our brother Eric to watch Game of Thrones. It's very entertaining.
He's becoming tolerant of it.
He goes back and forth. I feel like sometimes he's like, yeah, it's fine, and other times he's like, I've never hated a show more.
Those it's fine episodes are like the best ones.
Yeah.
But on average, he doesn't care for the show.
Yeah. All right. That's it. Thank you so much for listening. Bye-bye.
Bye.